Tonight, 3 ministerial nominees yet to cross Senate hurdle as Red Chamber confirms 45. More revelations as House of Representatives investigates job racketeering in Federal Character Commission.
I was never at any time involved in selling jobs to anyone. I only acted based on instructions, sir.
Plus, First Lady honors the Tigress for retaining FIBA Women Afro Basket Trophy for 4th consecutive time.
They played very well. We are proud of them.
Hello and welcome. This is the Network News on NTA, reaching you live from Abuja, the nation's capital. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Michael Olaleye joins me from Lagos. Thanks for joining us. Remember that you can also watch this broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live. Do remember to also follow all our social media handles displayed on the screen for all the latest. The Senate has confirmed 45 persons as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria out of the 48 nominees on the list submitted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that 3 others have not yet been confirmed, and details will come in the course of the bulletin. The House of Representatives says anyone found culpable of job racketeering in federal ministries, departments and agencies will face the full wrath of the law. The chairman, House Ad Hoc Committee investigating job racketeering, Yusuf Gatti, stated this during interrogation of management and staff of the Federal Character Commission over allegations of selling jobs. Mitaire Ikpen reports.
Misbehave, wala you live.
Kolo Haruna, a one-time IPPIS desk officer with the Federal Character Commission, is one name that has been resonating over allegations of job racketeering in the commission. Appearing before the committee, Kolo Haruna alleges he acted on instructions to remit proceeds of job racketeering to his boss.
So many people, like almost 25 of them. One will pay 1 million. The other will pay 1.5 million, all to my personal accounts. After which, she instructed me to give her the cash, all in cash installments. There's no transfer, there's nothing, just for me to withdraw through POS, from this POS to that POS, cash installment, and take it to her. I was never at any time involved in selling jobs to anyone. I only acted based on instructions, sir.
But the chairman, Federal Character Commission, refutes his allegations.
I've never in my life. Stand up and scream.
It's here. Ask him to give me 1 naira. It's here.
The drama continues, but the investigating committee is determined to bring job racketeers to book.
Whosoever that is found wanting will answer his father's name. Will answer his father's name. So that including Kolo Haruna.
Yes.
More testimonies are expected in subsequent hearings of the committee. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikpen, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian government must encourage more investment in the oil and gas industry, especially the liquefied natural gas, to harness the full benefits of the sector. Former Executive Vice Chairman of ExxonMobil, Solomon Oladuni, gave the advice while fielding questions from State House correspondents after a visit to President Bola Tinubu. Banking on the information that Nigeria has more gas deposits than crude oil, the former colleague of the president at Mobil said only more capital injection can unlock the potential in the industry.
Develop more LNG projects in Nigeria so that we can better utilize our gas to also improve the electricity supply into the country, because most of these turbines are driven by gas, and then we need to produce more of it, and it's also a clean energy, and we are able to avoid the environmental the impact.
Mr. Oladuni also suggested assistance to indigenous players in the industry, as well as checks against oil theft and pipeline vandalism as part of urgent measures needed in the sector.
All this when done, production is going to go up, and we have increased revenue, we have better employment, we have and more foreign exchange in the country, and everybody will smile.
Still on oil and gas, the air component of Operation Delta Safe on Saturday, 5th August 2023, destroyed 3 boats involved in suspected crude oil theft around 4 nautical miles southeast of Bile, a riverine area located west of Bonny Island and south of Port Harcourt in Rivers State. In a statement by NAF Director, Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Edward Gapquet, the airstrikes became necessary after the boats were sighted tapping crude oil from a pipeline and were consequently destroyed by the aircraft. Flying towards Port Harcourt, the crew also observed an active illegal refinery site with tanks and reservoirs loaded with suspected illegal refined products. Also, around 4 miles southeast of Idama in Rivers State, the site was subsequently destroyed. The NAF says airstrikes against these economic saboteurs will be sustained until they desist from their acts of thievery and economic sabotage. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has since directed all air component commanders nationwide to ensure they team up with other security agencies to sustain airstrikes on all criminal elements in the country until they surrender. Similarly, the commander Operation Delta Safe, Rear Admiral Olusegun Ferreira, has made clarifications in a briefing in Yenagoa on the recent saga of the suspected crude oil theft involving the vessel MT Prazel in Delta State. Aya Prezi reports.
Commander Operation Delta Safe, Rear Admiral Olusegun Ferreira, related that on 2nd August 2023, a pipeline surveillance company, Tantita Security Services Limited, reportedly acting on intelligence, suspected MT Prazel vessel to be carrying crude oil and approached an element of Operation Delta Safe to accompany its operative to board the said vessel to confirm the products it was carrying. The vessel was subsequently taken to Escravos Anchorage to enable relevant agencies of government to conduct tests on the products on board.
The results of the test have now been received and confirmed that the product on board MT Prazel is HPFO as approved by NMDPRA and not crude oil as suspected. I have with me here copies of the test results. We also have copies of the certificates of quality from NMDPRA confirming the product to be consistent with Nigerian industrial standards specification for HPFO.
The commander clarifies that pipeline surveillance contractors are not permitted to independently carry out operations to intercept or arrest any vessel.
It is noteworthy that in this case, Tantita did not intercept or arrest MT Prazel, but the vessel was directed to proceed to Anchorage for investigation.
Commander Ferreira expressed the task force's willingness to work with all stakeholders in protecting oil and gas infrastructure for the common good of the nation. From the headquarters of Operation Delta Safe Yenagoa, Aya Prezi, NG News.
The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on International Boundary Disputes has vowed to investigate the circumstances leading to the boundary dispute between Nigeria and Cameroon and the inability to trace Pillar 113A, which is a determinant in the boundary demarcation between Biajua and Danari communities in Cross River State, to ensure they are not ceded to Cameroon. The chairman of the committee, Benila, made this known during the zonal public hearing in Calabar. Justina Etim reports.
The International Court of Justice ruling of 10th October 2002 ceding Bakassi to Cameroon mandated the retracing of Cameroon-Nigeria international boundary line from Lake Chad region to Atlantic Ocean. However, Biajua and Danare communities in Buki local government area are alleging that the joint technical team mandated to handle the aforementioned task has failed to trace Pillar 113A, which is critical for proper demarcation.
The joint technical team is planning to use cohesive measures to create new boundary line, regardless of the irrefutable evidence before them. We wish to state without equivocation that Abuja is a Nigerian community at the border of the two countries. We shall not and will not oppose the retracing stroke demarcation of the international boundary if the exercise is properly carried out as law-abiding citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But we shall resist any attempt to place a pillar when none exists.
Your positions have been noted, and deliberations will be made on every single memorandum. We'll go back to Abuja, deliberate further, and ensure we come up with a position that is in the best interest of Nigeria.
The Cross River State governments promised to give the committee the needed support to actualize its task.
I want to believe that the stakeholders of Boki and particularly the areas affected will do the committee a whole lot by furnishing them with the necessary information to help them get at the truth and the right thing to be done.
The two communities are sending a save our soul message to the National Assembly to prevent them from losing their identity, farmlands, and rich forest reserve. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. The news continues in a moment. Stay with the NTA. If you're just joining us, this is the network news on NTA, and we're talking security matters now. The Office of the National Security Advisor has commenced policy planning and strategy development for a holistic approach to the ongoing disarmament, demobilization and reintegration program for countering violent extremism in Nigeria. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that part of the strategy is aimed at enhancing community-level understanding of the concept.
Threats to violent extremism is a global occurrence undermining communities' fundamental human rights and national security. In realization of the complex nature of the security challenge, the federal government, in addition to military combat operations, adopted a program for preventing and countering violent extremism.
Our approach to violent extremism must be rooted in our collaborative efforts and in the principle of whole of society approach to addressing issues including countering the ideology extremist group, building trust and community resilience at the grassroots level.
This platform is to equip delegates with strategic insight and review existing national and state disarmament, disengagement and reintegration programs for preventing and countering violent extremism frameworks with focus on the policy, legal and operational requirements for establishing a national approach.
Our DDR efforts need to be reconfigured in policies, tools, and practices to address the diversity of our security challenges orchestrated by different non-state armed groups in the country.
Because of political will, we can see that we now have over 120 returnees. And because we have political will on the part of the federal government also, every state is now encouraged to carry out a kind of PCV activities in all their MTAs.
So far, the program is increasing the level of awareness on the benefits of non-kinetic approach to fighting terrorism. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Abdulsamad Rabiu Initiative, ASR Africa, a leading philanthropic organization, has demonstrated its unwavering commitment to the fight against drug trafficking in Nigeria by donating a fleet of 25 state-of-the-art patrol vehicles to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency from its 2023 Security Sector Support Grant. Abdulmalik Hassan reports that the NDLEA is optimistic that the gesture will significantly boost its operational capabilities.
Amidst an atmosphere charged with anticipation and determination, the handover event took place at the NDLEA headquarters, with key officials and representatives from both the agency and ASR Africa in attendance. The gleaming patrol vehicle stood as a symbol of renewed vigor in the ongoing battle against drug trafficking, a battle that has far-reaching implications for the safety and well-being of Nigerian communities, experts says.
The chairman, Alhaji Abdul Samad Rabiu, understands that we cannot achieve development without an environment that is safe and secure. This is the reason why we focus a lot of our energy on ensuring that we provide the necessary support to the security agencies to make development possible.
The chairman of the NDLEA, with demeanor of gratitude and resoluteness, signed the certificate presented, marking the handover of the patrol vehicles a reality. He expressed optimism that the contribution would augment their capacity to thwart drug trafficking networks, disrupt supply chains, and apprehend those involved in this grave criminal enterprise.
Especially considering the millions of Nigerians that are daily being destroyed from drug use, and as well the implication on the criminalities in Nigeria. And looking at the array, we said, let's approach Alhaji Abdul Samad Rabiu for assistance. And we're extremely delighted today to be witnessing the redemption.
With advanced features tailored to modern law enforcement needs, they are equipped to navigate challenging terrains, respond swiftly to emergencies, and conduct thorough surveillance. Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
Now to aviation matters. Nigeria has signed the Civil Aviation Master Plan, or CAMP for short, in an effort to unlock opportunities in Nigeria's aviation industry. The Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Musa Nuhu, and the International Civil Aviation Organization Secretary General, Juan Carlos Salazar, signed the agreement during a visit to ICAO in Montreal, Canada. In a statement by the General Manager, Public Affairs of the authority, Sam Adurubui, the master plan is a major step in repositioning the nation's aviation industry to attain its full potential in order to make significant contributions to the nation's economic growth and development. Stakeholders in the aviation industry are required to be involved in developing and implementing the master plan. Meanwhile, key players in the justice sector are brainstorming on how Africa and Africans can take advantage of the Africa Free Trade Agreement Zone Agreement. This is the core of the 2023 African Bar Association Conference holding in Pretoria, South Africa. The conference identifies observance of the rule of law as a solution to the challenges on the African continent. It also stresses the need for legal practitioners to x-ray the free trade agreement in order to promote economic activities which can empower the people. Let's now join Michael in Lagos for more on the network news. Hello, Michael.
The West African Examination Council, WAEC, has released results of the 2023 WAEC for secondary school candidates. While announcing the results, head of Nigeria National Office, Patrick Arega, noted that this year witnessed a 3.45% increase in performance from last year. Adiola Komiakiri has details.
Statistics of the performance of candidates in
the head of the Nigerian National Office of WAEC, given the breakdown of the results. He revealed that 1,621,884 candidates from 20,867 public and private schools candidates registered for the examination, while 1,613,733 wrote the exam. Of the number that sat for the exam, 797,280, representing 49.22%, were males, and 819,453, representing 50.78%, were females. Patrick Arega gives analysis of this year's general performance.
Out of the 1,613,733 candidates that sat the examination, 1,361,608 candidates, representing 84.38%, obtained credit and above in a minimum of any 5 subjects with or without English language or mathematics. There is a 3.45% increase in performance in regard of this.
He stated that despite challenges faced during the preparation for the exams, WAEC was still able to fulfill its statutory obligation to the nation. On the issue of exam malpractice, Arega said those involved, including supervisors, have been arrested and will face the law. He added that results of candidates from states indebted to the exam body will be withheld. The head of Nigerian National Office restated emphatically that WAEC will continue to uphold its stance on service delivery. Adeola Komiakiri, NTA News.
Experts have always emphasized that early initiation of breast milk within an hour of birth and exclusive breastfeeding in the first 6 months of a child's life is critical to the health of an infant. Achieving this for working-class breastfeeding mothers comes with a myriad of challenges, and World Health leaders have dedicated this year's Breastfeeding Week to addressing the problems. Hinginojan Adams tells us more.
Because I am doing exclusive, I had to choose business, so I go everywhere with my baby.
Omaumi Tani sacrifices her comfort to ensure her baby enjoys benefits of breastfeeding. Some mothers do not have such privilege, which reflects in the 2022 statistics by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and World Health Organization, WHO. The data reveal that in Nigeria, exclusive breastfeeding rate is 29%, and that only 9% of organizations have a workplace breastfeeding policy, denying many mothers and babies the enabling environment for optimal breastfeeding. This has negative health implications on infants. This year's World Breastfeeding Week theme, Enabling Breastfeeding, Making a Difference for Working Parents, is aimed at addressing the problem.
8 to 12 times in a day. We expect a breastfeeding woman to breastfeed the baby. A woman that is working can express the breast milk, keep it in a refrigerator. Over 24 hours, the baby can still be given. Even without refrigerator, breast milk, when kept in a cool environment, can still be offered a baby for about 6 hours.
Breast milk is everything a baby needs right from birth until 6 months. So when we talk about the fluid the baby needs, all the water is in that breast milk, protection from infections, the ability to ensure that the mother's return to pregnancy state is achieved.
Experts are calling on authorities concerned to come up with policies that will support breastfeeding for working mothers. In Lagos, Hinginu, John Adams, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news will be back shortly. Please stay.
Now back to our earlier report. Senate has confirmed 45 persons as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria out of the 48 nominees on the list submitted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that 3 others are yet to be confirmed.
The Senate has so far approved and confirmed the nomination of about 45 ministers out of the total nominees of 48 ministers sent to us by the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The others are still awaiting security clearance.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio there explaining why Sani Danladi from Taraba State, Nasir El-Rufai from Kaduna State, and Sela Okuteti from Delta State were not confirmed, alongside the others that were at the confirmation hearing. Earlier during the screening of Festus Keyamo SAN, he tendered apology to the Senate over a misunderstanding between his office and Parliament during his tenure as Minister of State, Labour and Productivity.
For the misunderstanding that arose between us in my committee at that time at the Night Assembly, I apologize without reservation, total apology.
Meanwhile, in line with the prayers of senators from the Southeast, as tabled by Senator Tony Nwoye, Senate has urged President Tinubu to appoint additional ministers from that zone. Senate is set to adjourn for the annual recess after the composition of standing committees. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The 2021-2025 strategic plan of the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation is targeted at improving budget performance and infrastructure, involving various procurement processes. At a workshop in Akwa Ibom State for senior management and executive staff, the NDIC is assuring stakeholders of result-based procurement through strategic approach. Clement Barikui reports.
The Bureau of Public Procurement from time to time makes regulations to guide the implementation of the Public Procurement Act 2007, keeping abreast with these innovations in procurement processes for more effective and efficient dealings is why these senior management and executive staff of the Nigeria Deposit Insurance (NDIC) and the Bureau of Public Procurement (BPP) are here. Issues of concern among the participants are the need to understand current trends in the public procurement process, dealing with procurement of goods, works and services.
The Financial Act, for the most part, do bring in new provisions, new requirements for agencies to comply with. It is in this regard that we engage with the BPP.
Also, NDIC indicated that they want to comply with all rules, all procurement rules, just as they want banks to not to go down.
Because if we do better, we will reduce the tension in the system, we will reduce waste, and we will have the opportunity of training others.
One major area the NDIC is currently deploying transparency in service procurement is in the liquidation exercise for 178 microfinance banks and 4 primary mortgage banks whose licenses were recently revoked by the central bank, with 70% of the depositors so far receiving their insured sum.
But as for insured deposits, for the most part, we've taken care of that. We have enough funds to take care of that as a deposit insurer, and we are alive to our responsibility.
The 3-day workshop has as its theme result-based procurement, strategic approach. From Ikorekpene, Akwa Ibom State, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Joint Tax Board are working towards the harmonization of taxes for increased revenue generation and creation of a more friendly, ease of doing business environment. Stakeholders believe that these measures will attract both domestic and foreign investment as well as enhance economic growth. Boss Sede Abel reports.
The ongoing tax reforms leading to suspension of 5% green tax on telecommunication services as well as the excise duties escalation on locally manufactured products and other taxes by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is giving room for tax regulatory authorities to strategize by harmonizing revenue collection. The 153 meeting of the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Joint Tax Board in Abuja is to plan towards codification of taxes at national and subnational levels,
where the number of taxes at federal, state, and local government will be single digits. In other words, it will not exceed 9. Just imagine we can do that. we will really have solved a big problem.
The stakeholders described multiple taxation and other tax-related glitches and the effect on investment and committed to solutions for economic growth.
The more of these taxes that we have, the less of the revenue we generate. So what do we want to do? We reduce those number of taxes, block leakages in the tax system, and raise more revenue for the 3 tiers of government.
For us to actually put our hands on the issue of practically bringing the harmonization to bear in the Nigeria tax system so that we are able to make the tax environment friendly to all and sundry in Nigeria.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, recently announced a total tax revenue collection of 5.5 trillion naira, the highest tax revenue collection ever recorded by the service in any first 6 months of the fiscal year. In Abuja, Bosedi Ebo, NTA News.
And for more on the business circle, let's join Musa Abubakar. What's the latest in the business world, Musa?
Well, let's find out. As part of efforts to empower youths with the aim of promoting economic activities, the Presidential Amnesty Program is set to empower about 1,000 ex-agitators in the first batch of the Presidential Amnesty Program loan scheme. No fewer than 4,000 ex-agitators across the Niger Delta region will benefit from the Presidential Amnesty Program single-digit interest loan. Chairman of the scheme, Francis Tabai, said. Now to capital markets, the equities market closed positive on the first weekday of trading of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The all-share index climbed 0.21% at 65,336.80 points. A total of 334 million shares in 6,940 deals, corresponding to a market value of 3.8 billion naira were traded. Today's data shows 8% decline in volume, 36% decline in turnover, but 4% improvement in deals. The current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is 35.6 trillion naira. That's a quick look at business news. The news continues after the break.
We're talking health matters now. Statistics by the World Health Organization reveal that about 45% of annual child deaths across the globe are associated with undernutrition, largely due to a drop in the number of mothers who breastfeed their babies. Abdul Hafiz Alaya in this report takes a look at the importance of breastfeeding for proper development of newborns and the mothers against the background of this year's World Breastfeeding Week.
When a child is born, the only substance that provides all the energy and nutrients that the infant needs to survive for the first few months of life is the breast milk. The fact that the milk is safe and contains antibodies which help protect against common childhood illnesses, this consultant pediatrician says makes breastfeeding a must for every nursing mother.
When the mother breastfeeds after delivery, it also reduces the risk of breast cancer. It reduces the risk of osteoporosis in mothers.
Rukayat Ibrahim is aware of the importance of exclusive breastfeeding and always strives to breastfeed her child even while at work.
I'm a teacher, so it's quite easier for me because I'm allowed sometimes to take my baby to school. So whenever I'm free, I have leisure time to feed her.
It is good to build their immune system, especially when it is exclusive breastfeeding.
The approval of 6 months maternity leave for female civil servants in Kwara State, according to Dr. Rafiat Folorenshaw, is a plus for career mothers, as work schedule should not impede exclusive breastfeeding.
If you have a crèche in the facility, anywhere you are working, make use of it. You can put your baby under their care and go there to breastfeed as on demand.
In line with the theme of this year's World Breastfeeding Week, let's make breastfeeding and work work. Government and other stakeholders are expected to provide an enabling environment that supports breastfeeding at workplaces.
Champions of the 2023 FIBA Women Afro-Basket Tournament, the Tigers, have presented their trophy to Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu. This was during a formal reception organized for the champions by the First Lady at the State House. Adeni Itaiwu reports.
The State House is the first port of call for the victorious D Tigers after arriving to a loud welcome back to the country from Kigali, Rwanda, where they clinched their 4th consecutive FIBA Women's Afrobasket trophy. The First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, who had cheered the team to victory, was full of appreciation for their achievement, thanking them for bringing joy to the hearts of many Nigerians.
Your exceptional dedication, relentless teamwork, and unwavering determination have once again brought pride and honor to our great nation. Your performance on the basketball court is a testament to your hard work, discipline, and commitment to excellence.
While describing their exploit as a source of inspiration for women in the country, the First Lady charged them to prepare well for other international championships ahead.
Your victory transcends sports, symbolizing the potential that can be realized when a diverse group of individuals come together with a common goal. Your success reinforces the fact that Nigerian women are capable of reaching the highest level in any endeavor they choose to undertake.
The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Youth and Sport, who led the team to the reception, thanked the First Lady for the honor with a pledge that the team will not let the nation down.
We are now going back to start preparations towards the 2024 Olympic Games. And I want to use this opportunity to assure you that with this formidable team and with everything in place, they will equally perform wonders.
It feels amazing. I'm so thankful for the opportunity. I'm thankful for her organizing it and calling us in and bringing us in and giving us gifts and showering us with praise and giving us her time.
Earlier in the day, the First Lady had shrugged off the 4-2 loss of the Super Falcons of Nigeria to the Lioness of England at the ongoing Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, hailing the team for putting up a gallant performance at the Soccer Mundial. Joined by wife of the Vice President, Nana Kashim Shettima, and Senate President's wife, Ekaite Akpabio, the First Lady had rooted for the team, cheering all through the over 120 minutes the encounter lasted. In the State House, Adeni Itaiwu, NTA News.
Super Falcons bow out of FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand on a day Team FCT celebrates victory at 3rd National Karate Championship. Ayodeji Makinde has details on Sports Update.
Sports enthusiasts have continued to take positives from Super Falcons' performance at the FIFA Women's World Cup, where they lost 4-2 via penalties to England, following a goalless draw in regulation and extra time. The Super Falcons, bidding to reach the quarter-final of the tournament for the first time since 1999, could not take advantage of England, who were reduced to 10 players at the 87th minute, as Desire Okparanoze and Michelle Alozie failed to convert the first 2 attempts from the spots.
What a performance. Congratulations to the girls, their coach especially. I heard some Nigerian journalists talking about Serena Wigman. Here we go. That Wardrum has proven that he's as good as anybody.
This is looking like a team that will really go far.
European champions England thus progressed to the last 8, while Africa's hopes now rest on Morocco, who play France in the round of 16 on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Australia beat Denmark 2-0 in Sydney to qualify for the quarter-finals of the tournament, with goals from Kathleen Ford and Hayley Raso. In another development, Nigeria is set to feature 4 players at the forthcoming Afro-Arab Esports League Championship, billed for Saudi Arabia August 17 to 22, with higher expectations of podium finishes.
We have commenced preparation and our players are in high spirit. So we are playing the e-football and I'm confident that we'll make the country proud in Saudi Arabia.
Elsewhere, Team FCT has emerged overall winner of the 3rd Nasarawa National Open Karate Championship in Kefi, with a total of 13 medals including 6 gold, 4 silver and 3 bronze, while Strata-based Karate Club finished 2nd with 3 gold and 3 silver, and Niger State placed 3rd with 2 gold, 5 silver and 3 bronze medals.
working hard towards my next competitions.
As it is right now, we have athletes that are doing very well at the African level when it comes to ranking. And so we have a responsibility to provide that platform for the Africans so that they can improve on their ranking level.
Meanwhile, the karate team has commenced camping in preparation for the 22nd UFAC Africa Karate Championship in Casablanca, Morocco from August 13 to 21. With sports updates, Ayo Deji, Makinde, NTA News.
Family and friends turned out to extol the virtues in life of former President, World Methodist Council, and former National President, Christian Association of Nigeria, late Prelate Sunday Mbank in Abuja during a memorial service of songs. Gideon Yohana reports that former Nigerian Head of State, General Yakubu Gowon, joined other Christians in the service.
A man regarded as a unifier, peaceful and accommodating, a minister of religion.
His voice was a righteous voice, always ringing out from the church, speaking against injustice. He was of a replica of Jesus.
Born August 26, 1936 in Idua, Eket local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. The late Sunday Mbank was also the former President, World Methodist Council, and National President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. The church recounts the scholarly role of the hero, who wrote about 15 books during his lifetime.
It is necessary, that we seek the blessing of whoever is in charge of the churches in Nigeria.
Black is black, is white. He was not double-mounted, and I miss his gist. The head of Methodist Church in the world. He was also the prelate of Methodist Church in Nigeria. He was also the head of Methodist Church Africa.
Late Mbank will be missed by the body of Christ in the Methodist congregations, given that his 86 years of life was devoted to the service of God, building people and structures, converting and reviving souls for the kingdom. In Abuja, Gideon Yohana, NTA News.
Now the Senate is ready to continue proceedings of the ministerial screening and will now join the Red Chamber for the proceedings.